This mother owed thousands of dollars in back child support, and it was time to face the consequences and drink the coffee. In the judge's presence, she said, he's not getting shit.
You ain't getting shit.
You ain't getting. You want me to find you in contempt of court?
And listen, we're talking around $3,000 here. Still a chunk of change, but honestly, not a lot of money. She could pay this, but she refuses to pay. Why? Because the child ran away from home and was living in her house for a small amount of time over some conflict, not following dad's rules at home. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter. Why? Because child support only changes through a filed modification. She did not get the court order. Paperwork isn't there. That means it doesn't matter. And we know many men have been forced to pay child support for years under these same circumstances. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Mom uses inappropriate language in court.
Your Honor, at this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call the father here in this matter. Sir, can I get you to state your name for the record?
Luis Mendoza Jr.
And Mr. Mendoza, the three children that are here in this matter are all emancipated, is that correct?
Yes, they've all hit 18.
All right. The state would like to offer into evidence what will be marked as State's Exhibit 1, which is a copy of the financial report in this matter. Your Honor, this state would like to share the screen at this time.
Yes.
And Mr. Mendoza, can you see the screen at this time?
I can see it.
You need to zoom in. So.
I'm zooming in right now. I can see it.
And do you see that this is the pay record associated with this matter?
Yes, it's a lot of numbers.
I'm scrolling down to the bottom of the pay record. And are you able to see the amounts that are currently owed in this matter?
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, the state would like to offer into evidence what would be marked as State's Exhibit 1, which is the pay record in this matter.
So noted.
Thank you, Your Honor. As it relates to the child support that is owed here in this matter, the state has calculated that the mother owes a total of $2,367.20. And that is as of March 31st, 2024. Are you in agreement to that amount, sir?
Yes.
He's like, I need my money.
And the state has also calculated that the mother currently owes a amount of $849.32 as of March 31st, 2024, as it relates to the medical support, and requesting that the mother pays that back at $50 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes.
And Your Honor, may I stop sharing my screen at this time?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, was that exhibit admitted?
I didn't. You want me to admit it?
Yes, Your Honor, we admit this as State's Exhibit 1.
All right. State Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And as it relates to the current child support, the arrears in this matter as it relates to the child support, has the mother made any direct payments to you for the support of the children?
No, sir.
Check out the screen there. It says, might be alcohol. Probably. You know what I mean? Because how crazy are you to curse in a court hearing? Unless if you are a modern woman, who knows that you're only going to get a slap on the wrist. Let's be honest.
And as it relates to the, sorry, give me just 1 second here. As the prior order, there was a prior order in which the parties both requested or were granted a non-disclosure. Are you in agreement to that continuing into this matter?
Yes.
Do you understand that the state is requesting that the mother pays the court costs associated with this matter today?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any additional information you'd like to offer to the court as it relates to this case?
No extra information. Well, you know what? She did. My son did run away when he was in the summer of before he turned 18, and then he went to go live with his brother. So that would that's what he did, and so he's lived with his brother for about 7-8 months. I can't remember the exact time. It's been a long time.
It's been a year.
And did you agree during that time frame for the child to live with someone else?
Yeah,
No.
to live with his brother.
No.
Ms. Hagwood, no one's asking you a question right now.
She's already acting up right here, right? Already acting up. No one's talking to her, but she's opening her mouth. That might be alcohol in there. Kid starts leaving and acting up at home around 17, 18. We already know how that goes. I started to do the same thing. If you were once 18, you already know you go through that phase. You're like, hold on, I'm turning into a man. Dad, you can't tell me what to do. I thought I could do that until I realized and calculated rent costs and everything I'll be having to pay for. Some of you are going through that right now. Some of you who are subscribed to this channel need to calm down and get along with your parents. Wash those dishes. I'm telling you, bro, take your time. You don't want to be struggling out here with your boys and your brother.
And just to confirm, sorry, about how long did the child live with the other sibling?
It's about 7 or 8 months, I believe. I am kind of off. Like I said, it's been a very long time.
However, during that time frame, there was no change as it relates to the child support. Is that correct?
No, there was no changes or no court orders made.
All right. No further question for this party, Your Honor. At this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call the mother in this matter. Ma'am, can I get you to state your name for the record?
Sherry Ann Baldwin.
And Miss, I'm sorry, is your last name also Hagwood?
That's my maiden name, and it's Haygood.
Haygood. Okay, thank you, ma'am. As it relates to the child support judgment, the state has calculated that you owe a total of $2,367.20 as of March 31st, 2024. I'm requesting that you pay that back at $150 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount, ma'am?
No, sir.
Explain to the court why you're not in agreement to the amount that you owe.
Well, I got a phone call February 1st of 2022 from
Okay.
my oldest son, who is Lewis isn't the father, Dylan Haygood. And he told me that my son Lewis is there. He's been thrown out. And he doesn't know what to do. So I start helping. Lewis comes over here and he's staying with me for a few weeks. He's staying with his brother. And then finally he moves in with me April 1st of 22. And he's been away from his father ever since. Me and his brother's been caring for him, his eyeglasses, his doctor's appointments, getting him to court. I have documentation from the court stating that he was with me and his brother, probation officers that are willing to whatever y'all need them to write up. But I was unable to pay him child support for a child that I was caring for.
It doesn't matter. Gentlemen, how many times have you seen a man go through this exact same thing? It doesn't matter. You need that court order. Let's talk about the sponsor of this channel, fathershaverights.com. Engaged and soon to be married men, a single prenup slip up can cost you tens of thousands later. Waiting until the last minute or signing under pressure are the mistakes that sink most agreements. My step-by-step guide at fathershaverights.com, built with expert attorneys James Sexton and the lead attorney, shows you exactly how to avoid every costly prenup mistake, all for the price of a couple of dinner dates. Tap the link pinned to the top of the comment section to safeguard your future and join the hundreds of soon-to-be husbands protecting their marriages the right way.
And during that time,
That's
thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And during that time frame, when the child started to reside with you, did you petition the court to change the child support to reflect
Yes,
that
sir.
the child was living with you?
Yes, sir. I called y'all immediately and I emailed the court paper that I had stating that he was living with his brother. And then I went and got the lady told me to do this.
Ms. Hagan?
The whatever child support officer I spoke with told me to go file this with the courts. And it's my name is Sherry Ann Baldwin. I am the mother and the child of Luis Mendoza. He has resided with me since April 1st, 2022, and is currently residing in Johnson County. And it's signed and dated.
Again,
And
Ms.
then,
Hagan, Ms.
pardon
Hagan,
me.
the question that was asked is, did you petition the court to change the child support amount? Now, did you file a paperwork stating that the child was living with you? My question was, did you petition the court to request that the child support be changed to reflect that the child was residing with you?
Yes, sir, I did.
What's their case number, ma'am?
She's lying.
Well, I called y'all and told you that he was living with me and not the father.
look how she's playing with the nose because she knows she's lying. This woman's a liar, bro.
She told me to send in the paperwork that I had, so I did. And then she said she had 190 days to contact the father and that y'all would get a hold of me. And then she said that they froze the funds. So I don't know.
All right, and as it relates to the medical support, ma'am, the state has calculated that you owe a total of $849.32 as of March 31st, 2024, and requesting that you pay that back at $50 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount, ma'am?
No, sir.
And could you explain to the court why you're not in agreement to paying that amount?
Because I feel like I was the one caring for his needs. I was the one taking care of his daily stuff on top of having to pay a man child support that he's not staying with. I don't have extra money like that. I can't be taking him to the eye doctor and to appointments and feeding him and clothing him and paying him his father child support.
And just to confirm, ma'am, when you say that you're paying the father child support for a child that's residing with you, when exactly did you pay those amounts to the father?
I have documentation of every child support payment I ever made, and I have documentation of it.
And ma'am, were
And
you able to review
pardon?
the report that was provided on the screen as it relates to
I
the
couldn't
child
really
support payment?
see. I couldn't really see, but
And
I
would you like for
stopped
me to
paying
so that
after April
April of what year, ma'am?
22. I stopped paying, and that's when I went and got the documentation that he was living with me full time.
All right. And as it relates to the sorry, just one second. The non-disclosure.
That's a pretty good question. I don't know if you guys see that on the screen there. It says it would be interesting. By the way, shout out to Court Watchers. It says it would be interesting to find out why mom lost custody in the first place. That's a really good question. See, for the courts to give him custody, you know that she had to do something terrible, right? And that's not saying someone can't come back from this or be a better person, but that is a very good question to ask. What are you capable of? What happened? What did you do? And this man is suffering the consequences. Lots of lessons to be learned here, gentlemen. You want to be this guy? If you're not here yet, do you want to be this guy? Do you want to be this guy? Choose wisely and be disciplined sexually. Yes, men have to drink coffee too. You can avoid this. That crazy chick who you think is fun and oh, this is great, and it's I really need to leave her, but man, I just can't because the sex is good. It will end in tears. Get out now. Find yourself a woman who doesn't stress you out, and hide, because it's crazy out here.
There was a prior non-disclosure in the prior order. Are you requesting that the non-disclosure continue into this matter?
Yes.
And do you understand that the state is requesting that you pay the court costs associated with this matter today?
Yes, sir.
Nothing further from this party.
All right, we have to understand one thing. The Attorney General's office is not the court. You can ask the AG's office to do a lot of stuff. You can ask them questions. You can ask them to file something for you that might help you, but they're not the court. If you don't file anything with the court, then it's almost like nothing ever happened because the AG has discretion to do what they like,
Right.
which means they could file something or they could not file something. They didn't file anything. Separately, what you're supposed to do is file something with the court, and nothing was ever filed with the court. I don't work for the AG's office.
Womp
The
womp.
judges in the courthouse don't work for the AG's office. So you can tell me all day long that you talk to the AG's office, but that's not the court. So I can't modify your order. You were responsible to modify your own order if the AG didn't want to help you, or if you wanted to do it on your own. It's very simple to do, and that hasn't happened. So you owe these arrears. It's a very small amount. You owe the full amounts that are owed. You decided not to make payments. So you owe $2,367.20, payable at $150 a month, and medical support arrears of $849.32, payable at $50 a month. If there's money on hold, then they will try to forward that towards those amounts.
He's telling her what she owes. She's over there shaking her head. This chick is unhinged, probably going to face jail time. I don't know if he'll give her jail. Maybe he won't. He doesn't look like the type that would hold a chick accountable in this situation. I don't know.
And then if there's any remaining balance, then those are the monthly payments until those two amounts get paid off. If you want to pay it all off, you can. That'll end your case. Then the child support office can close their case. Since the children are emancipated, there's really nothing else for them to collect. But I can't do anything else besides that.
I want to read what it says up here. I don't know if you guys saw that. It says if those child support arrears get to $5,000, then mom can face felony charges. There is interest on the outstanding balance. Interesting.
There's really nothing else for them to collect. But I can't do anything else besides that. Court costs is billed to Ms. Haygood. The Attorney General's office will put all that into a court order for me to sign and email you all a copy. And if there's money on hold, it may take a couple weeks for that to process after they enter the order. All right, y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You ain't getting shit.
No way.
He
Hey,
ain't
good.
getting
You want me to find you in contempt of court?
He says, do you want me to fine you in contempt of court? Here's what's crazy. I know you're gonna roll your eyes at this. I know. Guess how much this judge is threatening to punish her with? look at the look at the father there with this smile. He's like, yes.
Miss Haygood, I can fine you $50 for contempt of court for
Oh, not $50, bro. This is ridiculous.
discussing in my court. So please don't act like a child. We don't need
I
that.
thought I was off. I thought I hit the button. I'm sorry.
Liar.
Be respectful.
That's it. But I want you guys to think about this for a second, man. Think of if that's what she's willing to do in front of a judge with the possibility of getting fined for contempt of court. Think of how crazy she talks to this man over the phone. Gentlemen, protect your seed. Gentlemen, please. And of course, we're about to read these comments here and see what the people have to say. Before I do that, I remember a comment that somebody left on one of my videos that I thought, you know what, that's a very, very, very good point. Somebody was like, I think younger men need to watch more of this content. Yeah, absolutely right. Because at first I thought the men who are in this situation definitely probably can benefit from this. Obviously so, right? It's people who are going through this. But just as important, it's young men who haven't made this mistake. And no, I don't mean tell every single man in the world to never reproduce again and the human race is screwed forever. No one should, there are people who believe that. And I think that's just crazy. What's the end result of that perspective? What you can learn if you are a young man who's not yet in this situation is be careful, implement sexual discipline. If you're somebody who values marriage, make sure you think twice about the woman who you marry. In this situation, you wasn't even married to her, which is honestly probably a better thing. Not for the child, right? So it's horrible for the child. But I mean for him, financially speaking, of course. And we all know that prenups cannot protect child support. Yes. But imagine if you had child support on top of all this and had to pay spouse support and you're losing half of your stuff. And so what do prenuptial agreements do? They limit your losses for people who value marriage and understand that life happens and people are allowed to have their own choice and make their own decisions. You must know that you're entering an agreement with a state that's not coming to that conversation honestly. That state in family court will allow her to curse him out and act a fool, and just like we've seen in the past. But if you try that, come back over here, tell me how that goes. I'd love to capture that for the audience. A few comments here in response to this video. Top comment here reads, that should not be, do you want me to find you in contempt of court? That should have been, you are in contempt of court. Fine is $50. She just stated in court that she has no intention to pay. Somebody responded back and says, ladies always get extra chances. Here's somebody else who added on and says it's not contempt until she actively does not pay. Dads say it in court too and get away with it. Somebody else here added and said that's not true. That would be a separate contempt charge for not following the order. This type of contempt is not following the rules of the courtroom, which are in full effect even during a Zoom call. Somebody else here added to the conversation and said any father would have been held to this standard as well. So what is he talking about? He's talking about the fact that, yes, though your child did run away from home for whatever reason and was living with you, you still didn't go file a modification and actually get that change made into a court order. Goes on to say, mom just blew it by thinking she has the kid and doesn't need to pay anything. Too bad on her. Here's somebody else who says the judge actually sided with dad. I'm shocked. Somebody else added on to that conversation says, no kidding. Here's somebody else who says, once his hands were tied and he was legally forced to. This one's funny. It says, I'm happy to see Judge Aguilar seems to have had his lunch. If he didn't, the father would have been in trouble. Is that true? Does he usually act up when he hasn't had his lunch? Maybe he says that in videos. Somebody else responded back and says, LOL, so truth. Here's somebody else who says, truth, he doesn't seem to like the fathers in these cases, even if they're in the right. I dislike him as a judge. We have Crystal here who says, right, he is so unfair. Somebody else here added, homegirl is definitely hitting that powder. Is that what that was? I don't want to say anything. I saw over there like playing with the nose and whatever. That's crazy. Here's somebody else who says, so your name is spelled Stephanie? Yes, but it's pronounced Robert. Laughing my effing A off. Somebody else here added, my brother's son moved out of his mom's place and to another state, but they still made him pay her child support that they had agreed upon. That's never made a drop of sense to me. Yeah, I think there's a lot to learn here, right? She admitted that she was caring for the child, but never filed a motion. She thought that calls and emails were enough, but she found out that the court does not run on he said, she said, I called this person. It runs on paperwork and orders. And listen, we know that fathers are told to pay no matter what. And from what I've seen in these videos where women know that what they're doing is wrong, and you're wondering why are they going about this when they know that this goes against the law? Well, I think it's because they expect special treatment because they've probably experienced it so many times until a situation where the judge obviously sees it's like, hey, I can't do this. This is just too obviously biased. But should men do this too? Yeah, I'm sure there are videos out there of men acting out as well. But the majority of the times when we see this happening, it's usually a chick like this. Most of the time in the courtroom here, we've seen a lot of attitude because she probably knows she can get away with it. What did we learn here, gentlemen? Always file a modification if custody changes. Otherwise, arrears stack up and you be stuck paying no matter what. Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link into the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.